Hi, my name's Mike Smith, CEO of Horizon Professional. I'm delighted that you've taken the step to come and learn a bit more about what it'll take for you to start learning options. In this short presentation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the why options may be a good thing for you to have a look at and give you an opportunity to find out some more so that you're in the best position to decide, yes, options is something I want to learn some more about, or no, it's possibly not for me at this moment in time. Either way, it's okay. Either way, I congratulate you in taking this first step, and I hope what I've got to say is of interest to you and you take the next step after this one. So what's it all about? What's your purpose? What should be your why of learning some options? Well, the bottom line is, it's having increased lifestyle choices through taking some control of your financial future. There are many opportunities to invest out there. And what I'm going to do here is briefly outline what options can do for you, why options may be a fit, so that you can then go on and learn some more. So let me ask you a question. What additional lifestyle choices could you make if you were to learn how to generate extra income from the share market every month? Now at this stage, it doesn't matter whether that's a few $100s or a few $1,000s. Both are possible depending on many factors, not least how well you're educated. But also there's other things like what the market's doing at a particular time, how much capital you've got to invest. So what you've got to do is view this whole process as a journey. But if you were to generate, say, an extra $1,000 a month, what difference would that have in your life? What extra choices could you make? Think about it for a moment. If that idea appeals to you, then let's move on. As we know, there are many ways to trade financial markets, and you may well have already attended seminars and workshops on various different sorts of investment vehicles. Here are the 5 most common. Obviously, the one that most people have heard about is shares. What's important is, through any education process of the others, having some understanding about the share market is absolutely crucial, because most of the other vehicles have a direct relationship to the share market. So part of my job as an educator is not only to educate you on whichever vehicle is right for you, but also make sure that you understand how financial markets work so you can make good choices. So why options? Why would we think that options might be a good idea over the other vehicles? Well, what you need to do is look at what's important to you if you learn to trade. The first thing for many people, of course, is time flexibility. Many of you are working in standard salaried jobs and perhaps haven't got a lot of time to invest in looking at trading financial markets. What's important to you is you choose something that fits in with your lifestyle, not takes away from it. So time flexibility is absolutely crucial. The second thing that might be important is to be able to trade different investing ideas. Many of you are aware in recent times of the advantages of trading in precious metals. But also, you may have an idea about where the markets might be going in the future. You may simply just want to generate a monthly income from your investing. So what you need is a vehicle which gives you the opportunity to trade those ideas, whatever they may be. The third thing is to trade different market conditions. As we know, sometimes the markets go up, sometimes the markets go down, and obviously sometimes the markets go sideways. What we need is a vehicle which will enable us to invest in any market conditions and, of course, profit. Number 4 is making sure that we've got balance. Balance is absolutely crucial. There are times when you're going to have lots of stuff going on in work or at home, and it may not be possible to do high intensity trading. There are other times when perhaps you've got a little bit more time on your hands, are able to invest more time in looking at the markets, and therefore can look at some of the high intensity trading strategies. So what you want is a vehicle which allows you to trade both low intensity and high intensity, so you can choose which strategies are best suited to whatever else is going on in your world. The 5th and final one, and possibly the most important of all, is you want something that allows you to manage risk easily. As with any investing, all of these financial vehicles have a degree of risk. Sometimes that risk management can be quite complicated. So what you want is something that helps you manage the risk by simply looking at the sort of vehicles you're investing in. So looking at these 5 things: time flexibility, trading different investing ideas, balance with life through low and high intensity trading choices, trading different markets, and easy risk management. Those are the things which are probably important to you if you're anything like anybody else we've ever worked with. And there's one vehicle which enables you to meet all of those 5 objectives. And that, quite simply, is options trading. If those 5 things are important to you, then I would suggest you delve a little deeper into the world of options. Hello, it's Mike Smith again, and now we're going to look at how else you can use options for profit. It is a journey. It's a journey to a great place if you put the work in, if you do the learning, if you follow through on what you should do the right things on a sustained basis, then the riches are yours for the taking. That's no hype, that's no BS, that's no insurance or car salesman type sort of hype. It's the real deal because, however, you are at the start of the journey. What this session is about is looking in more detail at what you can learn once you've taken your first few steps on that journey. So once you've learned what options are, once you've learned the potential of these vehicles, then it opens up a whole world of investment opportunities and ideas that you can use to fit both market circumstances and your personal circumstances. So let's just open your eyes. Let's look at what is possible by going through 5 different investment ideas that you can use options for. The first idea is the market will move in a specific direction. And already I hope you've got the principle, if not the detail, of the fact that there are 2 types of option. You'll have been introduced to the idea of buying call options as a substitute for stock to take advantage when you think the market may go up. And of course, because of the small amount of money you're investing in comparison to that of a stock, the returns you can make are significant. And of course, it's risk capped. Also, by using the other type of option, a put option, we can make money when the market goes down. This is very much like buying insurance on something that may depreciate in value without having to own the underlying asset. So what happens is, as that asset, in this case shares, drop in value, so the insurance policy increases. You can then cash that in and make profit. However, this isn't the full story. There are other strategies that exist that combine both bought and sold options over the same stock. The advantage of learning these is that these may need less monitoring than perhaps a directional trade, such as a bought call or a bought put. And the other advantage of learning these on top of the simple directional trades is that they often involve less dollar risk. So with the emphasis once again on risk management, not only do we have buying calls and buying puts in our arsenal, but we also have 2 or 3 other strategies for each market direction, depending on your personal circumstances and the conviction that you have in the strength of the signal that says to get in either way. Remember, of course, although there are other strategies, first of all, you're going to learn the basics. You're going to learn about buying calls and buying puts, selling calls and selling puts. Because without these basics, you're not going to be able to learn the others well. It's like anything. If you master the easy first, then mastering the next stage becomes that much easier. So, although these other strategies exist, I want you to remember that every time we learn a new strategy, we should learn it, we should create a plan for it, and we should test it on paper before we actually put some of our hard-earned dollars behind the idea. Idea 2 is the market will stay within a specific price range. Here we have a price graph. So this is how a particular stock is traded over a period of time. Now, one thing you may notice is really since about October 2010, it's traded between these 2 lines. So we could put a position here at A that says, as long as it doesn't get that high up, then we profit, as long as it stays within that range. We could also place a position B, which says that as long as it doesn't go below that line and stays within that range, then we can profit. Such is the beauty and the flexibility of options. So we can do A, we can do B, or indeed we can do both. Now the good news is there are 3 different types of strategies that you can do this with. What that means is you can pick again the right strategy to learn and to trade that fits with market and personal circumstances. This is absolutely vital, and keep it in mind whenever we're looking at different trading ideas. There is no point in learning ideas that you're never going to trade. Idea 3 is that you need to protect your existing assets. If we go back to the basics, there's 2 key rules. Rule number 1 is that capital protection is your number 1 aim. If you don't protect your capital when the time is right to protect it, then you're not going to be in the market for very much longer. Second rule is that once you're protected first, then you're in a better position to profit. If you're so busy worrying about the assets that you have and a decreasing value without doing anything about it, then you're never going to have the right mindset to take advantage of a potential downwards move in the market, for example. So if you're already holding shares, then one of the things we can learn pretty quickly is how to insure that share portfolio. However, it doesn't stop there. The exciting bit is not only can you insure shares, but by looking at the right vehicles, then you can look to protect other asset classes, such as a property portfolio or business. So just to reiterate the key point, unless you've protected your assets, you're not going to be in the best decision-making state to profit. Okay, on to idea 4. You have a long-term belief that the market will do something in the future, often related to a specific asset class. So for example, you may believe that precious metals in the long term, maybe in the next 6 months or the next 12 months, are going to go up in value, but you're not sure when that may be, but would like some exposure to that particular investment idea. Now you've got two choices. You can either simply buy some gold stock, which we know from experience don't tend to track gold prices particularly well, or you could look for something that does track the gold price well and put a position in that's significantly safer than buying a stock. So what we're aiming to do is put something way out into the future, so a long-dated options position away from the current action and a combination strategy. What this means is we have exposure to that idea and we're very, very risk capped. The risk-reward ratio is fantastic on some of these long-dated options positions. But of course you need to learn them, you need to plan them, you need to test them like any strategy. But that's how you would achieve idea 4. It may be that you have an idea that things will go completely pear-shaped. We're heading for GFC part 2. So what we can do is we can put a long-dated position away from the current action, but on a downwards direction and using a different combination strategy to take advantage of that. Again, very low dollar investment and a very large reward in comparison. But remember, of course, even if you're choosing a strategy that is long dated, this still requires a trading plan that has identified entry and exit criteria every single time. There is no trade you will do that doesn't have a trading plan behind it. One of my jobs as an educator is to enable you to develop a plan for each strategy. Last but not least, it may be that your idea is some different markets are worth getting into than the ones you're already exposed to. A classic example of this is, of course, China. It may be that you see merit because of the Chinese growth story in having some of your portfolio invested in something that has exposure to China. Now you can do this indirectly by looking perhaps at resource companies. However, what if you could invest in Chinese companies themselves without having access to the Chinese market? Well, this is possible. And one of the things that you're going to learn on this course is how to exploit that, how to gain access to different markets and yet still use exactly the same strategies that you're going to be learning anyway. One key point with this is not only do you need to choose the exposure that you want to such markets, but also the best strategy and how much capital you're going to allocate to it. And it may, of course, not be China. It may be real estate. It may be Brazil. It may be India. It may be that you want a real estate investment without actually buying any houses. You can do a real estate investment using some option strategies. Okay, well, I hope that's whet your appetite. I hope that's given you some ideas for what you can do with options and why options are the most flexible investment vehicle on the planet. Why that risk cap on every option strategy, if you choose to use it, is there for the taking, to keep you safe, to keep you confident, and to take you to where you want to go in your investing. You've got a choice to make. If you want to expose yourself to options, take the benefits of the most fantastic income generating strategy on the planet in covered calls and start to learn some of these other strategies as well, then that's a choice you can make. If you don't feel it's right for you, then that's okay too. The third place you may be is that you may have some questions that you want to ask me personally. You can email me with your contact details and when's best to talk to you at mike@horizonprofessional.com.au. So, I thank you for your attention. My name's Mike Smith. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see some of you in the future. Bye bye for now.